South Korea show once again where their weaknesses are when it comes to movies. Sadly, it's horror. Now, sometimes there is one or two good horror movies that are not only good, but as well original. But most of the time they tend to be very cliched. Why? Well, let's dive in and find out why. Bin, played by Lee Hyun-suk, witnesses the murder of his parents at a young age. Soon after, he is taken as an orphan by Soon-hee, played by Han Yeon-jun, her husband and young sister. But soon after, the three find out that Bin is not the young and normal boy they expected him to be. Let's talk about the positives first. Almost every actor does a good job in this, especially the young Lee Hyun-suk, who later in the movie portrays the terrifying killer. Yeah, I don't think I am spoiling anything here. The camera work was decent for the most part, and the sound was fairly okay, even though unoriginal. Yeah, that's basically it. What's negative? Sad to say, but almost everything else. Or not necessarily negative as in bad, but rather as in not impressive at all. Where to start? Well, the biggest negative is maybe the story. If you saw any classic Japanese horror movies, you know, with a possessed kid and whatnot, then you've seen this one. If you expect originality in here, then this is the wrong address, since Ghastly uses every single cliché to the point where you see the conclusion of the movie from a mile away. Kid possessed by a ghost of some sort? Check. Grown-ups that do terrible decisions? Check. Try hard jump scares that fail because you've already seen it countless times? Check. And whatever there is. So really nothing new here. And yes, the grown-ups do terrible decisions throughout. An example? Okay, for starters, Soon-hee, her husband, her sister and Bin moved to the same house where Bin witnessed his parents being killed not too long ago. How about that for an idiotic decision? There are a lot of stupid decisions made throughout the movie, especially the ending hurts when it comes to that. Next, how about the repetitiveness of the dreams Soon-hee and her sister have to the point where it gets boring very early on? How about the sometimes very rushed editing to the point where you don't recognize anything? Heck, there was especially one scene towards the end I had to watch that scene 10 times to understand what the hell actually happened there. And I still don't know what happened. That's how rushed it can get sometimes. Or how about the sister? She's around 17 years old in the movie, 22 in real life, and she gets jealous of a little kid that is now new to the family and an orphan because he is now the center of attention instead of her. I can see a 10-year-old kid, maybe younger or maybe even slightly older, getting somewhat jealous and making a scene about that. But a 17-year-old almost grown up? Sorry, but don't they have other problems to deal with? Like tampons, bras and boys? That seemed unnecessarily childish. There is no suspense, there is no legit frightening moments or scares. You don't even feel uncomfortable while watching the darker scenes. Nothing! So yeah, as you can see, the story might be the biggest problem here, but the movie has other problems as well. It's like the writers went, I could think of something original for this horror movie, but nah, too much work. And we got Ghastly presented. A movie that is so unbelievably cliched and uninspired that the 80-minute running time actually seemed like a waste. Nah, they don't seem like a waste, they are a waste. Just go watch Ju-on, Audition, Kaido or even I Saw the Devil.